Good afternoon. For those of you who do not know me, I'm Mary Bunting, and I have the distinct honor and privilege to serve as your city manager. One of the most important jobs of a city manager is to select great staff. And as you know, we have been in the process of selecting a new police chief. Former Chief Salt chose to retire in April after many years of dedicated and great service. He led our police division in really establishing some strong roots and being progressive in the way of updating our police policies. As just one example, we adopted body-worn cameras for all of our officers back in 2016 before it was more commonplace. After his departure, Chief Ferguson stepped in as an interim chief, and he was clear he only wanted to do that on a short-term basis, but he has done a fabulous job as he has been our interim chief, and I really want to give a big shout out to Chief Ferguson and thank him for the extra work and effort he's had to put into what is absolutely a 24/7 job. Most importantly, though, today I want to introduce you to the new police chief for Hampton, effective the first full week of July. That's Chief Mark Talbot. Chief Talbot comes to us from Norristown, Pennsylvania, where he is currently the chief. Norristown is a smaller community, but it has many similar demographics to Hampton. And he has done some really incredible things there. Violent crime has dramatically decreased under his tenure. He's engaged the community and community policing in a much deeper way than we have even begun to do here. And he has restored the faith of the African American and Latino communities in his community, which really didn't have a lot of trust of police before he came to their communities. These are all things that stood out for me personally, but also for the many community members that helped us in our process. Let me tell you a little bit about that process real quickly so you will understand the ringer we really put the candidates through to make sure we got you the absolute best police chief. So we had, early on, we had stakeholder interviews. We had a search consultant that sat down with hundreds of stakeholders. We also had a resident survey that some of you may have participated in. That gave us a pretty early read as to what our community wanted to see in their next chief. After we got the candidates, we had a 3-tiered process. At each of those tiers, we had community members that sat on our panels. In the first round, we did a one-way interview where we had given the candidates some very tough questions to answer that aligned with our values as a community. In the second round, we did the traditional 2-way interview. And in our third round, we had a comprehensive assessment center where all of the candidates had to go through various exercises like a press conference on a topic they learned really about 5 minutes before they went into the press conference, as well as various other prioritization exercises and a technical interview by regional law enforcement professionals. All in all, it was a very robust process and one that really put the candidates to the test. I want to give a big shout out to the over 30 staff and community members that participated in each of those rounds. We had different people in each round. They were very diverse. We had members of our faith-based community, our nonprofit sector, our business sector, neighborhood leaders, members of our Citizen Police Advisory Committee, our Citizens Unity Commission, and our Citizen Police Academy alumni, all of whom got to weigh in on who the next chief would be. And I'm so pleased to tell you that they reached a common consensus at every round of that process. Chief Talbot was the top candidate for each of those rounds. The community members really embraced him and his vision, as I'm sure you all will do as well as you come to get to know Chief Talbot. Earlier, I told you that one of the most important things a city manager does is hire a police chief. But it's not just who I want as a police chief, it's who the community wants and needs as its police chief. So I really do want to once again thank those community members who participated with us in reviewing our chief candidates. Knowing that Chief Talbot ended up being the top choice at every round of our process and that our community members uniformly embraced him made me extra confident that we were hiring the best person for our next chief. So now I'd like to introduce you to Chief Talbot. He'll be starting, as I said, in July, but we want to share a brief message with you. He's there in Pennsylvania, but he wanted to say hello to the community and give you a little bit of taste of who he is and what he looks forward to doing here in Hampton. Well, we look forward to getting him out in the community as soon as he gets here, but in the meantime, here's a little preview of our new chief, Chief Talbot.
Hello, everybody. I'm Mark Talbot. I am your next police chief, and I couldn't be happier to be able to say that. And I am your police chief. I work for you. I'm excited about working for you. I signed up to be a police officer almost 28 years ago because I love the community. Every day that I do the job, I think about how to make people's lives better. I was selected to be the next police chief in Hampton, and my first day is officially going to be July 6th, but there's a really good chance you're going to see me hanging around before them because I'm jumping out of my chair ready to do the job. I can't believe the amount of engagement I've seen from the city of Hampton. I've never seen anything like it in my career. I've been other places. I've worked with a lot of police officers. I've worked with a lot of police chiefs. Hampton has something different, and there's something that really attracted me to the community. As we were going through the selection process, I had the opportunity to ride around town, get a bite to eat in a couple of restaurants, ride around the neighborhoods, take a little bit of walk on the beach, see how things are laid out, and I totally fell in love with the community. I have no doubts it's going to be a great experience, and I really, really look forward to touching base with everybody. And now that we're coming out of this whole pandemic, actually seeing people's faces without a mask, I might get crazy and shake somebody's hand, might get crazy and hug somebody. I don't know. I'm thinking that might happen, but thank you so much for welcoming me, and I will see you in person really soon.